Cartoonists are supposed to make us think. They're supposed to make us question what's around us.
The stuff that happens to her and her friends have either happened to me or somebody I know.
You got to laugh in order to survive out there.
Keep people motivated, keep their morale up, and keep them in tune with the world.
I get a couple laughs out of the guys. That's payday right there.
Comics and cartoons with military themes have been around as long as images have been printed, but most are created by civilian artists and writers. In this edition of Recon, we'll meet three very different artists who are exploring these themes from inside the military. We'll also see how the digital era is bringing about some changes to the world of the comic strip. We begin in St. Clair Lakes, Michigan, just outside Detroit.
It's very satisfying, especially when I'm done with a strip and I know I nailed it, and that's good. It's a good feeling.
Basil Zavisky is the artist behind the comic strip Gunston Street. It chronicles the Iraq deployment of Company F, 425th Infantry. They're a long-range surveillance unit with the Michigan National Guard. He based the characters in Gunston Street on members of his team, like Sergeant Walter Crump.
What do you think Americans back home are thinking about right now? Our security, reinforcements, shorter tours?
Gas prices.
You know, it makes light of a lot of situations that, you know, weren't funny at the time, but now you can look back and laugh at it, you know.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah. So this is me right here. So, and I had a mustache then. So.
We talked him into getting rid of it.
Yeah, he said I'd look younger if I didn't have the mustache. So he's not trying to make big political statements. What he's trying to do is accurately portray our feelings and our experiences in Iraq. And I think the comic really does a good job.
Infantry unit, we use a lot of black humor. And you needed humor, you got to laugh off, you know, in order to survive out there or just function. You got to make it, you got to laugh at it. If I get feedback from a private, say, hey, I enjoy your strip, you know, and thanks for writing it. Man, that's it. That's all I do it for. There's really nothing more to it. That's satisfaction enough.
Gunston Street appears in Stars and Stripes, the newspaper originally founded by and for service members. It prints 5 different daily editions for those deployed and stationed overseas.
The strips, the comic strips, are some of the most popular things in the newspaper, popular things in any newspaper. People love to read it. It's a break from everything else that you read. A little bit of humor in places where there's not a lot of humor.
Stars and Stripes, whose best-known cartoonist Bill Malden won a Pulitzer Prize during World War II, continues to find value in comic strips and cartoons.
You look at it, and it's the old story, a picture tells 1,000 words. You can say more in one photo or one cartoon. Than you could in a lengthy opinion piece that only some people will read.
What I'm finding is that not only with technology, but information, I mean, you definitely have to keep up with what's going on, what I call outside the gates and inside the gates. All the service members that are inside the gates have their own world, and then everything that's affecting them is on the outside. And part of that is Facebook, Twitter, Friendster, maintaining a website. Ultimately, for readership on a daily basis, weekly basis, you're going to want digital media.
Since his retirement, Gunnery Sergeant Charles Wolf has been finding most of his audience on the web. He started drawing what became Sempertoons for amusement on a shipboard assignment early in his career. They've been appearing in Marine publications since 1994.
The characters themselves, I've never named them. And the reason for that is because each Sempertoon, it looks the same, but it's drawn differently every time. And the reason I do that is because I don't know who out there is going to be looking at a particular character, and it just allows them to become more focused on being the character they're looking at. With Beetle Bailey and some of the other cartoonists that were kind of cornered with a title or a rank, that kind of puts you in another realm where PFCs can relate to this character more than the Sergeant Major can.
He says his goal is to make Marines laugh at themselves.
You know, I jump on the enlisted side, I jump on the officer side, But ultimately, everybody understands that if you can't laugh at yourself, then, there's something wrong.
Before his retirement, Gunny Wolf was the chief graphic artist for the Marine Recruiting Command. In the small store he now runs at the Quantico PX, he's still selling the core. He wants to give Marines a vehicle to explain their experience to family and friends.
In the visual, we can do it through humor, so the parents aren't taken aback by the fact that it was this crazy thunderstorm, or, they were sleeping in the mud for 2 days, but they understand the sacrifice and what their son or daughter went through. But the humor kind of takes the edge off. So I see that magic happening a lot. So I call that the bridge. The minute you help somebody relay that story, they find the positive in it for themselves. So I steer clear of controversial situations, political statements, and things like that, because there's so much humor out there and just other things to concentrate on. I just don't need to go there.
This one?
Sempertunes is a family affair. His wife Amy is the store manager, and his young son Joshua spends plenty of time there. He rebates a percentage of his sales to the unit activity fund of every Marine customer. Sempertunes for him is a way to make Marines see the value in their experiences. All of them.
Well, the key is that laughter is a universal language. And Sempertunes has become a window into that universe. It's pretty hard to go a year without seeing your family. So when you can go to Sempertunes.com and you can right-click and print out one of the 300 Sempertunes we have, you can put that on the wall of your cube, you can put it in your backpack, or you can put it in an envelope and mail it back to those that want to be connected to you.
Everything that she learns is what new spouses are learning all the time. Everything's marked garage, and it was in the living room, and I don't know where she would have put it.
Julie and Major Angel Negron are looking for a missing cell phone stowed away somewhere in these boxes. It was packed up for their latest permanent change of station from Okinawa to Robins Air Force Base, Georgia. Julie grew up in an Air Force family, and she's PCS'd a lot.
These are closed. 7 times since I've been married to my husband, and we've been married for 10 years, but I counted over 33 places that I'd lived.
Her comic strip, Jenny, the military spouse, was born because of a PCS when her medical records were lost. She called the clinic office manager.
I said, well, it seems like you need some help in your office if, the records are getting lost like that. And I didn't mean it I just meant, golly, I feel bad for you. But she took it wrong, and she said, don't tell me how to do my job. I don't even have to talk to you. You're just a spouse. And that kind of sent me off, and I thought, I can't be the only one.
Julie focused her anger on some research and discovered there were no strips about the military spouse. She trained as a commercial artist and had tried to develop cartoons before. This time, she decided to create Jenny.